Welcome to the weekly market wrap-up. I'm Hannah Bernard. North American markets entered the fourth quarter this week deep in the red as nervous investors continue to pull money off of the table. Wednesday saw the worst of it, with the Dow dropping 238 points and the TSX shedding 155. Did investors turn it around? Let's find out. Traders added to September losses this week, and despite a late rally Thursday, most still ended in the red. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fought back into positive territory Thursday, only to give up the gains and close down 3.66 points to 16,801. And the S&P 500 posted green on Thursday, but only by 1/100th of a point, closing essentially unchanged at 1,946. The Nasdaq also delivered a meager gain, up 8.11 points to close at 4,430. Canadian markets also reacted to the uncertainty this week. At one point on Thursday, the Toronto Stock Exchange was down over 220 points, but it rallied, capturing most of the losses to close down only 44.80 points to 14,760. The TSX Venture Exchange continued its downward slide, posting an 18.80 loss, or 2% in overall value, to close at 877. The dip in the markets this week was fueled by weaker than expected American manufacturing data and concerns about a faltering global economy. Markets also failed to benefit from a positive look at the American job market just days before the release of the U.S. government's jobs report, which is expected to come out later this morning. Payroll firm ADP said on Wednesday the American private sector created 213,000 jobs in September, in line with expectations. However, this good news for the economy led investors to worry that the Fed may raise interest rates sooner rather than later. Economists are expecting the U.S. Labor Department to report later today that 215,000 jobs were added in September. Let's hope more good news doesn't lead to another drop in the markets. Burnaby, BC-based drug company Techmira Pharmaceuticals was a major advancer this week on the heels of its experimental drug to fight the Ebola virus. Techmira Pharmaceuticals Corp surged 18% after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed the first known Ebola case diagnosed in the U.S. on Monday. In August, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration told Techmira it would allow the use of its investigational drug TKM Ebola in patients with the virus. Now to winners and losers and our picks for the week. The winner for this week is iHookup Social Inc., ticker symbol HKUP. Shares shot up this week as the company released data showing significant growth in new downloads of its iHookup Social app in the Apple App Store. iHookup Social is a mobile application company positioned at the intersection of dating, social media, and location-based connections. The loser for this week is Le Chateau Inc., ticker symbol CTU.A. Shares of the Canadian clothing retailer plummeted nearly 18% Thursday as the company continues to deal with disappointing sales. Just 1 month ago, Le Chateau shares lost nearly 19% after the company reported a net loss in its second quarter. Le Chateau Inc. is a specialty retailer offering contemporary fashion apparel, accessories, and footwear to style-conscious women and men. Le Chateau brand merchandise is sold exclusively through its 235 locations across Canada. Well, those are our winners and losers for this week, and now it's time to check into the gains that you could have locked in by following the weekly watch list from Robert James and Viral Stocks. That's enough about this week. Now let's turn to BayStreet.ca's look at the week ahead and the snapshot of what analysts are forecasting for companies whose earnings reports are coming out next week. Here are 3 U.S. stocks to watch. First up on Tuesday is Yum! Brands Inc. with an EPS forecast of 87 cents compared to 85 cents in the prior year quarter. Next up on Wednesday is Alcoa Inc. with an EPS forecast of 20 cents compared to 11 cents in the prior year quarter. In mid-September, Alcoa signed a multi-year supply contract with Boeing valued at more than $1 billion. Finally, on Thursday is PepsiCo Inc. with an EPS forecast of $1.29 compared to $1.24 in the prior year quarter. And now here are 3 Canadian stocks to watch next week. First up on Monday is Richelieu Hardware Ltd. with an EPS forecast of 72 cents compared to 62 cents in the prior year quarter. Next up on Wednesday is Jean Coutu Group with an EPS forecast of 29 cents compared to 24 cents in the prior year quarter. And finally on Thursday is Sandvine Corporation with an EPS forecast of 2 cents compared to 3 cents in the prior year quarter. And that wraps it up. Thanks again so much for joining us for another weekly market wrap-up. Before you head out for the weekend, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel or podcast on iTunes and find us on Facebook and on Twitter. For Val Network News and BayStreet.ca, I'm Hannah Bernard.